This meeting of New Philadelphia City Council will come to order. Will you please rise, bring Cindy for the invocation and pledge of allegiance. Mr. Walker.
Heavenly Father, thank you for this council. Thank you for this beautiful city and this beautiful day. We thank you for our safety forces, and we pray for their safety. Be with us this evening as we make the decisions to better this village, or this city, and represent the people of this city. Just be with us as we leave here this evening and keep us safe. Pray all this in your name. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
I
pledge
pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. And welcome, everybody, and we'll start with roll call.
Mr. Kreinbill. Mr. Lanzer.
Here.
Mr. Pace.
Here.
Mrs. Ramos.
Here.
Mr. Rippett.
Present.
Mr. Similink.
Present.
Mr. Walker.
Here.
All right, Mr. Granville, we will be here shortly. Everybody had a chance to look at the agenda. Are there any additions to the agenda for tonight? Hearing none, accept a motion to approve the agenda. Mr. Walker, need a second?
Second.
Mr. Ripper, thank you. In discussion by administration, council, roll call.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
Mr. Rippett.
Yes.
Mr. Lanzer.
Yes.
Mr. Pace.
Yes.
Mrs. Ramos.
Yes.
Mr. Similink.
Yes.
All right. Agenda has been approved. Minutes, everybody's had a chance to review the minutes for our last council meeting. Are there any additions or corrections? Hearing none, accept a motion to approve. Mr. Walker, need a second, Mr. Ripper, thank you. In discussion with administration, council, roll call.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
Mr. Rippett.
Yes.
Mr. Lanzer.
Yes.
Mr. Pace.
Yes.
Mrs. Ramos.
Abstain.
Mr. Similink.
Yes.
All right. Correspondence, Ms. Courtwright.
To Clerk of Council from Connie Limbacher dated August 16th, 2024. This is an email titled Dora Statement from May Council Meeting. To Clerk of Council from Darren Lautenschlager dated August 18th, 2024. This is an email in support of Dora. To Clerk of Council from Harley Wheeler dated August 19th, 2024. This is an email stating opposition to Dora. To Clerk of Council from Marsha Bryan dated August 19th, 2024. This is an email in opposition of Dora. To Clerk of Council from Jamie Cunningham dated August 19th, 2024. This is an email in opposition of Dora. To Clerk of Council from the Ohio Division of Liquor Control dated August 22nd, 2024. This is a C1, C2 permit class liquor license request from NP East DT LLC Storage Barn at 260 Beaver Avenue Northeast, doing business as East Side Drive-Through. Response must be postmarked no later than September 24th, 2024. And to Clerk of Council from the Ohio Division of Liquor Control dated August 22nd, 2024. This is a C1 permit class liquor license request from Family Dollar Store at 1450 State Route 39. I forwarded both liquor license requests to President Kemp to place in committee. And to Council and Administration from Mayor Day dated August 26, 2024, the Mayor's report. And that concludes correspondence for this evening, Mr.
All right, thank
President.
you, Ms. Courtwright. Mr. Walker, will you take the, I'll report you that stuff. We'll assign those two liquor licenses to your committee.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, move on to administrative reports. First up, Mayor Day.
Thank you, Mr. President, council members, fellow administrators, and guests. A couple things I'd like to highlight from the report I sent you earlier today. At its August 13th monthly meeting, members of the City Planning Commission voted unanimously to recommend that City Council adopt the new zoning code that's been written by Wendy Mueller of Compass Point Planning. The recommendation included minor changes to the new city zoning map. The next step in the adoption process is a public hearing. That'll be on September 9th. That'll be when Ms. Mueller will present the new code and answer any questions that the public may have about it. Then Council's Zoning and Annexation Committee will meet to consider the public input and make a recommendation to the entire council body to accept or reject the new code. It took just over a year to have meetings and do the necessary research to develop the new code, which I feel is essential to properly manage the city's growth and future land uses. The last time the zoning code was updated in this city was 1987. And I'm really happy that this event will be coming up. The New Philadelphia's aviation history will be celebrated again when the pilots of the T-34 Association will bring their planes to Harry Clever Field on Saturday, September 7th. According to event organizer Don Whittingham, the aircraft will start appearing over the skies of downtown New Philadelphia at about 10:30 a.m. that morning. Then they'll land at the airport at 11. The pilots will then have lunch and welcome the public to view their historic Air Force training aircraft. Then around noon, the T-34 pilots will depart, doing runway flybys as they leave. And I don't know if you've ever seen those, but it's just amazing. To me, you know, I love aviation. It puts a shiver down my back. So you can learn more about the T-34 Association and the aircraft at the web address I put on my report, and it'll be online also. And this is the same group that visited Harry Clever Field last year. And I also want to remind everybody at the EAA chapter's annual pancake breakfast, Labor Day weekend pancake breakfast, fly-in is coming up on this Sunday. That concludes my report.
Public hearing. Public hearing.
Yes, the public hearing will be on September 9th. Right.
Yes. Okay, any questions?
Yes.
for the-
Remember, I won't be here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we,
Remember I told you that?
Yeah,
we could change
And I
it.
told Wendy that?
okay, we thought that it was a different date.
September
And it
26th.
hasn't been assigned to my committee yet.
No, but we can still have a public hearing,
Okay, I'm just
Yeah.
not gonna be here.
yeah.
Okay,
And we'll have one for the third reading as also.
Right, exactly, yep. Okay, thanks for pointing that out. Any other questions?
Okay, thank you, Mayor
Thank you.
Day. Service Director, Mr. McAbeer.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, everyone. I was visited both sites today with the ongoing projects, Franklin Square Phase 2. Last Monday, they would have liked to have got to the storm sewer, the 5-foot line. They're still working on the sanitary sewer, but as we know, I talked earlier, that got lowered approximately 3 feet. So again, hooking all the services back up and keeping that line, actually gotta keep it charged because of the sewer still coming to it. They look to finally start the storm sewer on Thursday. So put them approximately 6 days behind where they'd like to have been. But again, they should start that on Thursday. Had to meet ODOT and some Shelley and Sands folks today on the KSU connector trail spot. They had a couple issues with the called out for concrete and some of the drive approaches down through the area, from say Founder's Hall up to the entrance there to the hangars there on East High, on the east side of the airport. Called for concrete, it's all blacktop in there, we're gonna go blacktop in there. And a couple issues with some service boxes for our water that are just in there and just small. We're gonna open them up to a road box so we can get to them and keep it flush with the trail being right there. So we made that decision today also. Also with that project, and I don't know if anybody's got any calls on this or not, but the mail is refusing to drop off mail there because if anybody's been down there, they've got them sitting out on the barrels, but supposedly that's not safe. But again, talked with the postmaster today, they refuse to put mail there, so still working through that with the contractors. No different than what they've always done, pulled off a little bit of the side of the road. But gotta remember, we're widening that, so it was not wide on that side anyways. I think it affects around 19 customers down there, so we're still working through that. I think we've all talked about before, heard me talk about before, dealing with the railroad. The post office is just about as bad here in Philly, so just keep that in mind. You can print that too if you'd like, so. Because, yeah, extremely, yeah, but anyways, let's move on. Also, at the last meeting, I talked about we was gonna have bid openings for the North Avenue project. We did have that on the 13th, was awarded to
Tucson out of New Philadelphia for the bid of $266,677. And if we remember right, just to give everybody an update, that runs from North Broadway on down North Avenue, northeast, Second Street, northeast. So again, one block, just to show you the price of things, one block, $266,000 to remove some 2-inch galvanized line to move to some 6-inch line. Just to bear that in mind, the cost of just doing business in the water department. We've done a great job of eliminating a bunch of 2-inch throughout the city. I think I've all talked about, heard me talk about before. You open a ditch there, you look at it, and it starts leaking. You go to put it back together, and it starts leaking again. So it's just, it's a battle, but again, we just keep pecking at it as we can. Also, last week, the mayor and I was informed that through the Appalachia Regional Commission, through Omega, we was awarded a grant for $250,000 to help with the 21st Street water line. We've got to bore that underneath 250. It's right along there, it comes on the side of Freeport Press, and we'll go underneath 250 right there. So, it's been a line that's been a problem too, just about as much as the one that we just bored underneath 250 on the other side there, right from the plant. So that'll be done here next year. And last but not least, I talked with Mr. Haney on Friday on a different project, but asked him how I'd come out and looked at everything there. If you notice, the only thing that's missing there is the 2 doors on each end of that underneath this, and those are on back order. Those got donated, someone paid for them, nice for them. And underneath there now, I urge everybody to try to see it now. They put lights in there, it's all bright. Before, you couldn't see in front of your nose what got in there, but they put lights in there, and it really turned out nice. So like I said, I wanted to report on that. Other than that, everything else is done in there, and if anybody's worried about it, it's just those 2 doors, and that's done. And that's the end of my report.
Any questions, Mr. McAbeer?
Yes, I realize it's not something under your control, but some people in the East End would note that they waited till the week when about 4,000 more kids are running through that intersection there at University Drive and East High, when the traffic is certainly disrupted and the lights. And for the record, it would have been nice if they'd done that a few weeks ago, but it's not I didn't realize not in your control, but it is gonna be a mess out there right now.
Yeah, and the nice thing is, when I was out there today, the widening part there up to the airport entrance, they look to pave that back Thursday. So as soon, they're quick too, as soon as they move that, they'll grind out that white line, move it over, and I'm hoping, they talked about hopefully being able to put that turn lane back in. So let's hope that they do, because once they're, that's the last of the widening right there. They should be able to get it back in temporarily before they pave it, so let's keep our fingers crossed with the weather and so on. But they look to pave that back Thursday, and I'm hoping that everybody can do away with mail until then, because at that time, they can move back over also.
That has to be a problem. Now, I don't know whether it would be advisable if the police were out there directing traffic at that intersection, like for 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the afternoon, just to keep, that's gotta be a mess out there. That's just a suggestion.
Yeah, that'd be us to, of course, to Greg.
Sure.
Yep.
Any chance with that widening that left turn lane going on to University might be lengthened a little bit so we get more cars into that left turn lane?
I think it's laid back out exactly, yeah.
It'd be nice if we could get a couple more cars, because there's room there.
Yeah.
They're just on your yellow lines,
Yeah.
so.
So,
Yes. Go ahead.
oh, sorry. I forgot to look your direction, sorry. I drive that way to work. I'm driving at least 2 times a day that way. So I agree, it's a mess already. Are the lanes going to stay narrow?
No. They'll stay, you'll go back to the same way. All you did was widen the edge so you get that bike lane in there.
Bike lane, because they have to have, is the bike lane going to be, it's supposed to be on both sides, right?
Correct.
And it's 6 feet per bike lane, correct?
I don't wanna quote, because I can't remember if it was,
Okay.
if it was 5 or if it was 6. I don't wanna say. I can get that for you, but I'm not 100%
Okay,
sure.
that was my read on all the bike trail stuff that I did a deep dive in. But yeah, so Okay, I'm trying to picture in my mind that they'll, won't stay narrow.
That's okay.
Okay.
Yep, they will. I mean, they won't stay narrow. It's just, all they're doing is getting that out there. You gotta remember, there was nothing, white lines here, there was nothing over here to put a bike, so you widened it out to put the bike lane. So you took all the right of way up to put your bike in. You still got your roadway still available to the driving.
That center line will shift.
Cause
Yeah,
they
the
left
center.
a temporary bike
Yeah.
lane.
I
It,
don't think they've marked any temporary bike lanes yet.
they had they had, before they started reworking it, they had like those little white bicycles on there.
Not in that
One this way,
area.
one that way.
Not in that area, not in the widened area. There was nothing in that area.
Okay,
Yeah,
It ended right at University.
yeah.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes,
Sorry,
just
man.
please.
You're good. I know it's not your project, but with the stadium project, there was a lot of moisture underneath the upper section. Are they doing ventilation or something with that?
What
or
they
just-
did there is they brought in, I'm gonna forget the name of it. It's a vapor barrier they put in first. Same type thing almost that we have underneath a lot of our trails. They kept from the penetration of the moisture. Then they stoned all that. You need to go in and see it,
Yeah.
because they did a decent job with it.
Okay.
And then all that area up above is still open, through the, bleacher part.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Good deal.
yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you, Mr.
Oh,
Yeah, Mr. Walker.
Real quick one.
No, you're
I
fine.
just noticed yesterday the fence around the retaining pond or the drainage pond there on Springbrook, the top one,
Uh-huh.
right across from the school, the gate's open. And
Okay.
I'm like, I don't think that's supposed to be.
No,
open.
it's not supposed to be.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you. I'll make sure that it, matter of fact, I'll message Ray right now so I don't forget.
Yeah, I don't see the chain anywhere either. so.
Okay, I'll make sure I mention that.
All right, thank you, Mr.
you're
McAbeer.
welcome.
Safety Director, Mr. Popham.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, everyone. I have a couple items in the police department. Back when we got a new police chief, one of her little updates that she wanted to do is to the outside of the police station. Originally, when it was built, the sign, New Philly Police, was right on the building, and they had some can lights. Well, those can lights probably haven't worked they probably didn't work 2 years after the place was brand new. But anyhow, she came up with a new sign, and actually, I would like to thank the VFW because they donated just a little over just shy of $7,400 for the sign. So once again, I would like to thank them for doing that. A few meetings ago, you heard the chair of the Civil Service Commission talking about how it was hard to get candidates for the police department, and he had been talking with the police chief. We actually had posted a notice for a civil service exam to be given on the 29th. We actually had to cancel that because we only had one applicant. So it's still very difficult to get applicants for police department, and we're gonna look into maybe some creative ways of going about doing that, because what we're doing isn't working. So that's all I have.
Yes, Mr. McAbeer.
I'm sure you know, Greg, but, last Tuesday I was in a meeting with, Mayor Gano, and he's doing the same thing right now. He said they need 3 right now, and he said they're struggling too. So I don't know if anybody's not doing anything right, or just no one's getting into that
It's just-
jobs anymore.
It's statewide.
Yeah,
It's everywhere.
yeah.
Yeah.
I will tell you that we are struggling to fill academies.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, you would know too.
Yeah, we're struggling to fill academies with the 10 that it takes to start.
Yeah,
Mhm.
right, but just whatever that's worth. He said the same thing last Tuesday.
All right, we want the auditor, Mrs. Denham.
Thank you. No report tonight.
All right, thank you. Treasurer, Mr. Gerber.
No reports.
All right. Law Director is not here, we move into our board commission reports. Planning Commission, Mayor Day.
The planning commission will be meeting again the second Tuesday of next month. at 1 PM here in City Council chambers. And I'm sure we'll tie up some loose ends on the new zoning code.
All right, thank you.
That'll be our topic of discussion.
All right. Board of Zoning Appeals, Mr. Beckerbeer.
Thank you, Mr. President. Board of Zoning Appeals met here in council chambers on August the 13th at 5 PM with one variance request to be heard. Variance was for 1161.04, which was over the lot coverage limits. And, you know, we're at 33%, but just to let everybody know, the new code will have accessories that you'll be allowed to be over 33%. So I had Josh come and explain that to the members, and once they heard that, they voted unanimously to allow for that increase and a vote of 3-0. So just let everybody know when they see that come out, there's accessories that, okay, like a deck, right now, it counts against your lot coverage. But accessories are one thing, your house is gonna be another, so just bear that in mind when this all comes through. It's new for me because some of the areas go up to 85%, in some of the areas. You know, and that's nothing, we have 100% in town almost, so. But just letting you know that was part of the learning curve that we're gonna have with Board of Zoning Appeals. But once Josh had explained that, it was voted unanimously to grant the variance in a 3-0 vote. Thank you.
All right. Any questions for Mr. McAbeer? Airport Commission, Mr. Lonzer.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Airport Commission will be meeting September 10th at 6 PM at the Harry Cleaver Field Airport Meeting Room.
All right. Move on to Park Board, Mr. Pace.
Thank you, Mr. President. No report this evening.
All right. Health Board, Mr. Simmelink.
Yeah, the health board met last week, and there was a report that COVID cases are on the rise in the city. That the FDA has just approved a new COVID vaccine with new variants that'll be available in the city sometime soon. And the frequency of administration vaccines for your kids going back to school, what's required for them to go back to school, is on the rise. They've been doing a lot of promotion on that, and apparently it's been successful. So that's the end of my report. Thank you, Mr. President.
Any questions? Now we'll move on to our council committee reports. Finance, Mr.
Thank you,
Bowman.
Mr. President. I have no report tonight.
All right, Public Works and Economic Development, Mr. Alonso.
Thank you, Mr. President. No report this evening.
Safety, Health and Service, Mr. Simmelink.
No report, please. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, Zoning Annexation, Ms. Ramos.
Thank you, Mr. President. No report.
Salary, Mr. Cranbill.
Thank you, Mr. President. No report.
Cemetery, Mr. Pace.
Thank you, Mr. President. No report this evening.
All right, floor is now open for visitors' comments.
So you missed me.
Oh. Yeah,
Thank you, Mr. President.
that must be the same seat God's been
I
watching.
know. Thank you, Mr. President. No report, but we need to schedule a special contact meeting for the next council, September 9th,
Alrighty, I can do that, half hour?
15 minutes.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Walker.
Thank you.
All right, business comments. The floor is now open for visitors' comments. Anyone wishing to address council should rise, state your name and address, and address all comments here. You have 5 minutes.
Hi, my name's Connie Thornton. I live at 324 West High Avenue in New Philly. I come in front of City Council as a member of ACE, Advocacy Choices of Empowerment, 115 3rd Street Southwest. We are having our 30-year anniversary on Tuesday, September the 10th, 1 to 4. ACE helps with recovery and also mental health. I've been going there just about 3 years, and it has helped me a lot. We are inviting you all to see what ACE does for our community. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. What helped your dad get it?
He's a trooper.
Careful, Carl.
He's a trooper.
Yeah.
I'm Carl Russo, 324 West High Avenue. And I have two comments real briefly. When it comes to Dora, for me and my household, which is the three of us, my daughter, her husband, and myself, we are opposed. And I had already mentioned this to Greg. The last few nights, we've had quite a bit of drag racing going out West High. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, I can lay in bed and hear them rifling through the gears and idling down from 2nd Street all the way up to 4th Street. You know, one of these days, somebody's gonna pull out and there's gonna be a wreck. So that's what I've got there. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Russo. I see we got a Boy Scout here tonight. Got anything you would like to say?
Not really, but he's going.
Hey, Storm Young.
My name is JP Houston, and I'm here to complete a requirement for my communication merit badge. Thank you for giving me a chance to see how city council can debate issues without getting angry at each other.
We appreciate you coming tonight. Thank you. Yes, sir. Council comments, any council members having comments for this evening?
Yeah, I'll get one real quick,
Yes,
Mr.
Mr.
President.
Walker.
Just want to plug, there's a young lady that I'm married to that runs Tough Bags, which is a backpack program for food insecure kids that takes care of 13 different school districts in Tuscarawas County. And her building is down on Cookson Avenue. And they are having their annual gala on September 5th. So if anybody's interested, they can go to toughbags.com or to the Facebook page and get tickets for that.
How much are the tickets?
Come on. So they're $70 a ticket, and that will feed one child for an entire school year.
All right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great.
You do a great job.
They do a great job. Make sure you tell your wife that she's doing a good job.
I will, trust me, I do.
I remember we went to our legislative agenda.
I just have one question.
Oh, yes, Mr.
The law director wasn't here earlier when it came his moment, but I did notice that the gas station on East High Avenue, that you've been involved in litigation and so forth, is open.
That's correct.
And I just wondered, have they resolved their obligations to the city? Are they meeting all the requirements?
They've met all the requirements to be open. That doesn't mean they didn't violate our local ordinance though, so that still has to be resolved, and that's before Judge Ernest, and that's coming up. He set up for a hearing within 45 days.
45 days?
Within 45 days. I don't recall how far out we are from it. I think we're about halfway to that point, to see where we stand, and I had offered a resolution to it, which I think was fair to all the parties. And right now, we're in preliminary negotiations to see where we stand, and then we'll meet back with Judge Ernest and see where it goes. But what was irritating, I'm thrilled to see it open, but the problem was, the whole purpose of the ordinance is to stimulate. Either get the tanks out or open it. And this went on for 2 years, and we gave tremendous leeway. In fact, that was something that Judge Ernest was very impressed with when we were there, was how lenient the city had been without bringing the hammer down on him. And we were told that it was gonna be open last, I think it was February, and then, no, I'm sorry, clear back to October. I think it was October. In February, he came in and told me personally, when I filed paperwork in March, that it would be open in April. His attorney subsequently told me, once we got into the litigation, and I filed for a default judgment, it was gonna be open in 2 to 3 weeks. That was over a month ago. And it took Judge Ernest setting this 45-day deadline, it seems, to get the thing open. So I'm not particularly pleased about that. I'm not interested in bringing a hammer down on somebody that's operating in our city, but I do think there has to be some sort of reckoning for the type for the manpower, the energy that the city put in, and we'll see how it gets resolved.
On one hand, I appreciate the value of small business in the community and the fact that we have another one operating. The second one, are they operating, is it safe? We have residents living in the area there, and that gas line's been underground for a long time. Is it a safe operation? I don't know whether we, and are they obliged to the city further?
Well, that is one thing that I can tell you for sure, is that it is a safe operation. They have passed all their inspections, met all the criteria, gotten all their permits. I know that Captain Schultz of the New Philadelphia Fire Department was personally involved in that and has cleared them and has we've stopped levying penalties against them in accordance with our ordinance. It's just unfortunate that it took this amount of time and that there was a real feeling, I feel, among the administration, justifiably so, that somebody was thumbing their nose at us for a long time. And what I've got away as law director is weighing between, making sure that our ordinances are followed and what's best for the community. And so that's something that we're weighing with Judge Ernest, but I can assure you that it is safe, it is open, it has met all the permit requirements, and I trust Captain Schultz. If Captain Schultz tells me it's safe, from the New Philadelphia Fire Department, then
Captain Schultz for the fire department?
yes. If he tells me that it's safe, then I trust him.
Thank you.
Yep.
How about the liquor? Let's say you got a beer sign up out there. I know we questioned about renew his liquor license.
The problem with the liquor license wasn't anything with regards to us. The problem with the liquor license was that the prior owner had let it lapse.
Okay.
And when he went to get it transferred, there was nothing to transfer. So, to my knowledge, I don't know if that's been resolved or not. Nobody has said anything to me. I haven't heard from the Department of Liquor, that they had held our request for a hearing in abeyance because it wasn't right to be heard at this point in time because there was no permit in existence. So I don't know what the status is of that.
Okay. All right. Any other questions for the law director? Yes, Mr. Ramos.
Will you be able to find out what the status is?
Well, the Board of Liquor Control is to inform us.
Right.
And to my knowledge, I haven't received anything from them. And when we were in court, which was just a couple weeks ago, they did not have the matter resolved then either, but he had an attorney from Columbus working on it. So I haven't heard anything from them. I suppose I could give them a call.
Could you?
I mean, that's not really
Call
something
them?
that's not really something that we, that's something that's controlled by the state.
Yeah, they give the licenses.
Yeah, I'd be happy to call
Or
them.
not, but.
But I don't really have I can't go in there and check whether or not they have the proper permit.
Right,
It's
no,
something
no,
that
I don't mean for you to go in there,
Okay.
because that's not your business.
Right.
But just follow up with the Board of Liquor Control and see where we're at, because we had requested a hearing and, he would need a new liquor license, because he couldn't transfer the other one, and none of us are sure where that is, right? So I'd appreciate that if you could find out for us. Thank you.
All right, any other questions? All right, we'll move on to our legislative agenda. Ms. Courtwright.
Ordinance number 21, 2024, an ordinance by the council of the city of New Philadelphia, Ohio, to increase all sanitation accounts by $3 per month. Sanitation account bills mailed in the month of November 2024 shall reflect the rate increase, and declaring an emergency, third reading.
Is there any action we're taking on this ordinance tonight?
Yes,
Mr.
Mr. President,
Lonson.
I move that we pass ordinance 21, 2024.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, Mr. Simlick, thank you. Any discussion by administration, council, roll call?
Mr. Lonzer.
Yes.
Mr. Similink.
Yes.
Mr. Kreinbell.
Yes.
Mr. Pace.
Yes.
Mrs. Ramos.
No.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
All right, the ordinance has
I'm a
passed.
yes too.
Okay.
Boy, oh boy.
All right, ordinance number 23, 2024, an ordinance by the council of the city of New Philadelphia, Tuscarawas County, Ohio, authorizing the auditor to establish a new fund called the Downtown Quadrant Maintenance Fund, number 282, and declaring an emergency, first reading.
Is there any action taken by council on this ordinance tonight? Hearing none, we held for an next scheduled council meeting.
Ordinance number 24, 2024, an ordinance to approve, adopt, and enact the current replacement pages to the codified ordinances and declaring an emergency, third reading.
Is there any action taken by council on this ordinance tonight?
Yes,
Mr. Alonso,
Yes, Mr. President, I move that we pass ordinance 24, 2024.
do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, Mr. Simmerly, thank you. In discussion by administration,
Whatever it is.
council, roll call.
Mr. Lonzer.
Yes.
Mr. Simmelink.
Yes.
Mr. Kreinbell.
Yes.
Mr. Pace.
Yes.
Mrs. Ramos.
Yes.
Mr. Ribbit.
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
All right, come on. It is passed.
Resolution number 10, 2024, a resolution by the council of the city of New Philadelphia, Ohio, approving the creation of a designated outdoor refreshment area for the consumption of alcohol in specified public areas of New Philadelphia, enacting regulations thereof, and declaring an emergency, first reading.
Is there any action taken by council on this resolution tonight? Mr. Alonso,
Yes, Mr. President, I ask that we suspend the rules on resolution 10, 2024.
do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Crandell. Any discussion by administration, council, roll call.
Mr. Lonzer.
Yes.
Mr. Kreinbell.
Yes.
Mr. Pace.
Yes.
Mrs. Ramos.
No.
Mr. Ribbit.
Yes.
Mr. Simmelink.
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
Our rules have been suspended. Mr. Lonzer,
Yes, I move that we pass resolution 10, 2024.
do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Simmelink, thank you. Any discussion by administration, council, roll call.
Mr. Lonzer.
Yes.
Mr. Simmelink.
Yes.
Mr. Kreinbell.
Yes.
Mr. Pace.
Yes.
Mrs. Ramos.
No.
Mr. Ribbit.
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Abstain.
All right. Resolution 10, 2024 is passed.
And that concludes legislation for this evening, Mr. President.
All right, thank you, Ms. Courtwright. Is there any unfinished old business for tonight? Any new business for tonight? Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Mr. President.
All right, 8:07. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. President.